Okay, so we're here in our bedroom and I've loved this artwork up here. I feel like it ties in everything, but we were at our TJ Maxx / Home Goods, it's all in one. And I found this piece and I fell in love with it. I love anytime I can find this light color wood that matches our flooring. Plus I loved the art. I'm really picky with art. You can tell, like, I want it organic and a lot of texture. So I'm thinking this might look good up here. And then I want to try this either back in my office because I feel like the wall is pretty plain. But I want to try our living room as well. I don't know that it's going to work in our living room, but I just want to look at that wall over there and see if I want to do an accent wall or if I want to do art. And by putting this one in there, I can see, like, is this too big? Do I need it bigger? Do I want less color? Do I need more color? So I try to, like, take pieces I have in my house to figure out what I'm shopping for. But I'm thinking this one's gonna look really, really cool in here. So I'm gonna have Chase flip these out and then we're gonna try this a few different places. So I didn't make an intro for today's video, so I just want to let you guys know we're going to be doing all sorts of home projects. It may be a little all over the place, but basically we had a free day and I just wanted to get done as many things as we could off that list and just get it all checked off. So before we ever hang anything, we just lean it or use nails that are already in the wall, because it takes me a second to realize, like, I do like that there's more wall space there, but I'm used to something bigger. So I'm not gonna hang it. I'm gonna go try the other walls with the other art to make sure I can find a spot. Otherwise it can just come back here. So never really hang anything and put permanent holes in your wall. Well, they're not permanent, but you know that you have to fill and putty and sand and paint until you're 100%. Yeah, so this wall is the wall that's just so empty. I keep saying I want an accent wall, but I think we're getting tired in our old age. We don't, well, I don't know. That looks pretty good.
Looks like a good size.
Yeah, I would not have thought I would ever put an artwork there. Huh. This is always when I wish, like, people could just, like, vote in live on my video. I think I really like that, but let's go hold it up in the office just to see. But that does look pretty good. Okay, so the problem here is I stand here to do, like, stories and videos, and the wall behind me is pretty empty. It looks really good in here too.
Just a good piece.
Just need a couple of them. I'm gonna have to think about it. Now we're gonna hold this one up to make sure we don't like it better. I don't know, this shape's throwing me. It's like I love the design, but the square,
yeah,
I like the rectangles better. One of the projects that I've been really excited about that I've wanted to do since we moved in is some type of privacy for here. I will say, like, we live on 6 acres and we have, like, a gate out here that we can keep closed. So, like, no one can come up unless we want them to. But there's a lot of the times, you know, we're having deliveries or food delivered, or, you know, we left the gate open. And I feel like if I ever do sit down and relax, I'm right here, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a lot. If I'm laying, I'll, like, hide behind this pillow and put a blanket over me. And sometimes George just wants to bark at everybody going by. So I feel like it'd be nice to close it, even if it's not for those reasons. Sometimes it's just really nice to have, like, the house dark when it's super, like, sunny and hot outside. I will say we don't get any direct sunlight into here, or at night. I feel like if we're up and all of our lights are on, you can see straight in. Once again, there's no one really around us. We have neighbors across the street, but we love them. So I'm not worried about that, but I think it's just nice to have the option for privacy. And so we grabbed this, or had it made off Amazon. I can link it for you, but you can customize it to the size, the color, everything. So if you're caught up on my videos, we did them over here. You can see I kind of left them half down. Is it gonna focus? There we go. Sorry, my camera is being wonky today. But you can raise them, lower them. It's all by a remote. So I can just, like, keep the remote here. And if I want to close it and have privacy, I can. So we're slowly adding these through our whole house. We did our living room, our dining room, our bedroom. Next up, I'd like to do the guest bedroom and Chase's office. What's nice is you can just customize them and order them as you need. So like I said, once I liked the windows, I was like, this will totally work for here. Now, just something to think about. To open the door, you're gonna have to open it. But this whole point is like when I'm sick or I have a headache or it's night, I can close it and then just open it up as needed. But that is something to think about. Like once it lowers, it's just like a curtain. So I just wanted to point that out. But to me, I think this is gonna be the best solution. So what I did was a white valance so it can hang up here on the trim, but then the actual shade's gonna be black. So then it'll just like look like a black door. But I did the white valance so when it's up, you don't notice it. I also did that over here. I'll have to open these up all the way. So you can choose if you want them hung like inside the window or above the window. I did above the window just because, let me open these up for you. I'm gonna open them all up at once. This is a remote too. We just hung it on the wall so we wouldn't lose it. I wanted it hung up on the wall so when they were all the way open, you could see our black window trim. I didn't want you to see black, 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 and then this be cut off white and you could notice it. So like when you're far away, let me stand back, you kind of just lose them. You don't really see, like in person, you don't notice the valance of the shade. You just see the full black window trim, if that makes sense. So that's just personal. There's no right or wrong with that. That's just how I chose to create them. So I still had my full like black windows. So up close, you can see it's up there above the window. So visually when your eye's looking, now if your eyes are just like studying my window, you're gonna notice it. But when you just walk in and you're not thinking about it and you don't live here and you don't know there's a white valance, your eye just catches all of the black. So that was important to me. Okay, so these are actually really easy to install, but what Chase likes to do is mark the center of this, and then he marks the center up here, so when he hangs it, he knows it's exactly where it needs to be. So all he does is take his tape measure and then a Sharpie, and then just puts a little line or dot on it, so he knows he can just line them up when he's hanging it. I actually do have a code with them right now. It's for 10% off. It ends the end of August. So if you're gonna get these, you can get a discount right now. So the code is Ashley10till. I know that's a little funny, but there's lots of Ashleys, so that's the only thing we could come up with. But I'll put the link and that code down below my description box just in case you're wanting to get these. What's nice is they're completely custom. So if you just want them for one room, if you want them for your whole house, whatever it is, we're just kind of going room by room until we get them all done.
I really thought we had it covered. Was gonna patch up all the scars, but we smashed up all the parts. Oh na na na. Always knew that you were stubborn, but didn't know it'd be so hard to figure out who you really are. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. Just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now.
Okay, it's officially hung. I feel like from back here you can't tell too much. I know the black goes a little bit further than the door, which I think we could have customized that smaller. I think Chase was just trying to get it so light wouldn't come in, so keep that in mind. I will say, I'm trying to get a good angle, it's hard with the lighting. We did this bottom bar right here black, so the whole shade's black. That way when it lowers, which I'm gonna show you up next, when it comes all the way down, it's a solid black piece. We could have done that bar white and it would blend in more with the trim, which is probably what I should have done. I thought this was gonna be able to hang down lower, but then the door hits it. I could go in, like we could have had this made white, or I could go in there and paint it. It's crossed my mind. But then the problem is when I lower it, it's gonna be solid black and then have like a thin white piece down here, which I think will drive me crazy. So it is very, very customized, so just keep that in mind. You can tweak anything and everything. But I'm gonna go lower this so you can see what it looks like.
That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know.
Okay, so I've decided I want this to line up with the door. Like, it is gonna drive me crazy just because we see the door all the time. And I had him slide it over where, like, if you notice right here, the black lines up with the door, and then visually it just like disappears. Your eye doesn't see it. Where if you see on this side, it goes past it. That's how both sides would be. So I think I'm gonna move this one into our guest bedroom right here, because I was gonna order one back here anyway. It's gonna be big for it, but you'll never know because I have curtains. So it'll be a white valance up here, and then I still wanted the black. I feel like a guest bedroom, you want it to stay dark, or my family wants it to stay dark. So I would have designed it that way anyways. It would have just been a tad bit smaller. But like I said, we have curtains in here, so even though it's gonna go a little long past this, you're never gonna see because the curtains are in front of it. So this is just the joys of home projects. We're probably gonna move that one in here. I'm not yet, just because this one works, and until we get it in, I want the privacy. I will say when it's down, it's perfect. It's just when it's up, which it's going to be the majority of the time, I don't know. One part of me is just like, leave it, move on, but then my eye just sees details, and I just want it to be like lined up with the door. That was our fault with measuring. So when Chase measured all the windows over here, they tell you to go past it for light, and it wasn't an issue because I had curtains. But for this space, I'm not really using it for the light. I'm using it for privacy. So even if a little light comes in, sorry, my camera is so blurry. Let me see if I can, there we go. I'd rather a little light come in from the sides when it's down, because it's only going to be down maybe at night when there's not light, or just when we're here hanging out. But during the day, you wouldn't see. Like, to me, it's kind of starting to look like a barn door. It looks like there's like a slider above it. Next up, we're gonna work on these chairs. So if you follow me over on Instagram, I posted a reel that I finally replaced my other two chairs. I loved those things, but they were getting so dirty. I could clean them up, but the fabric was just kind of hard to clean. And so I was just getting sick of it. So I'm like, okay, it's time to replace it. You guys know I love change anyways. So I picked these up. I'll link them for you. It's like a sister company to Wayfair, but I love the shape, the design. They still swivel. That was a must for Savannah. She loves sitting there. But this time I definitely want to like ScotchGard them. So I'll link this for you, but I'm gonna go and spray those. I'll read the directions. It does say you can use it on like upholstery, throw pillows, table linens, fabric purses, clothing, canvas shoes, backpacks, and luggage. So maybe if your kids are going back to school and their backpacks get dirty, you could spray this too, but I'm hoping it helps. I also wanted to show you, they make an outdoor version. This is outdoor sun and water, and it protects your fabric from like fading and rain and snow. So if I get to it, I might work on some of our outdoor cushions. I will say they're already like lived in and dirty. It would be best to do this before. Not that I've had the furniture long, it's all like from the summer, but I'd have to have time to kind of clean it up and then spray it. But if you're getting a new piece, I suggest just like having this on hand, so when it comes out of the box, you can spray it and then you don't have to worry about it. So spraying these, I did put a sheet down. I wanted to mention that. I filmed it, but like my camera moved because of the wind, so I wasn't even in the shot. But I did want to lay something down, so I wasn't spraying this on our concrete. I don't know what it would do, but I did want to find out. So you can see right there in the scene, I have a sheet on the ground. When the can says it'll work for 2 chairs, it's not lying. I feel like typically they lie. And I think it's more with spray paint. I always start spray painting and I never have enough cans, and then we have to stop and drive all the way into town because we don't live in town. And so I've learned to overbuy, but I like way overbought this time. So I've already done one coat, and like I'm saying, it's better to do light coats. Like if you want several coats, I'm only gonna do 2, but if you want 3 or 4, it's better to do really, really light than like a really thick one, because you can't even tell I sprayed them. So I'm gonna let these air out, dry, and then I'll come back and do another one, but I have a feeling that one can's gonna cover both of them. When you're spraying, the biggest places that get dirty are where hands go. So like right here where you grab to like sit down and to stand up. And then for me, down here where like shoes and feet hit, even right here, because like kids, even adults, even myself will like put my feet up here, not with shoes on, but it still gets dirty. So just really focus in on those areas. That way when you have to clean it, it just cleans up easier. Now I am gonna go and spray these with the outdoor. Did you guys see George there? He just ran, but he was in the window. With the outdoor spray. We bought these at the beginning of the summer. Up close, they're a little dirty. We have bugs, they're white. I told myself I wasn't gonna do like cushions at this house, and I have it in the backyard. I did it here, but these were so affordable and the cushions tied on, so we haven't had to chase them. So I love that, but still white outdoors can be a little hard, but I'm gonna go and spray them. So we'll make these last as long as we can, but like when I go to replace them, I don't think I'm ever gonna do cushions again. You just can't in the country. There's bugs, there's dust, there's just everything. Let me show you guys up close. Let me walk over here. They're not bad, but just for white cushions, like, I don't know. Of course on camera, it's gonna make a liar out of me, but like, there's like bird poop on them. See that? When I get up close, I'm gonna wipe them down and then spray them. Like, look at this table, but like that's easier to clean than fabric every time you wanna sit down. So as I was cleaning these, I realized I wasn't going to be able to get off as much as I wanted without really having to scrub them. And so I asked Chase if we could just flip them, and they were actually able to be flipped. So that's what's nice about some of these cushions. You can use like the front side until they get super dirty and then flip them and then use the back. And then you could also just like clean them, recover them, do what you got to do. For me, being out here, it's just hard. So I love that I can flip them and make them last a little bit longer, and then eventually, like I said, I'll probably get some where I can just like hose them down.
Everything is alright.
Now out here, I wish I would have sprayed these from the get-go, and I thought about it. You know how it is. There's always just so many things on the list. That's what today's kind of about, is just like we have a free day. So I'm trying to get as many home projects off the list. And sometimes home projects are small. Sometimes it's changing a light or changing an air filter or cleaning something. Sometimes it's something major that has to get done. But typically it's just stuff that you're putting off, but it needs to get done. So in here, I wish I would have done it sooner, because we have like some oil spots from where Chase was like cooking and it splattered right there. Probably not gonna get those up. I'm gonna try. Here, I'm hoping these watermarks from like swimmers, from girls swimming and coming and setting down, I'm hoping I can clean those up and then protect it with the water spray. If not, it is what it is. Like, it's outdoor furniture. People swim here. They're gonna get wet. I'm not that worried. But if I can protect it, I should. And I should have done it from the beginning, but it doesn't make me like love this less. But I'm gonna get it cleaned up, and then we're gonna spray this stuff too. I started to like hand clean these cushions, and I realized I wasn't gonna be able to get it wet enough to really get that water stain out. So I went ahead and just wiped down the coffee table while I had it. It was disgusting. And then I grabbed my shampooer so I could actually give these like a really deep clean.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my call.
just a reminder, I feel like I never want to pull out my shampooer because I'm like, it's going to be so much work and it's going to take forever. And I don't know, I talk myself out of it, but every time I pull it out, I'm like, this is so much easier than what I remember. And it's just such a good deep clean. So if you have one of these and you haven't pulled it out in a while, I suggest doing it. If not, I'll link this one. I feel like I've tried every shampooer on the market. And this is like the perfect handheld one. I don't know if they still make it. I feel like I've had it a really long time, but I just like the attachments. I like how the water comes out. I just feel like it's really easy to use.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing.
Now, I will say I've talked about another handheld shampooer. I do keep two. I keep one for like normal messes like I'm cleaning now, and then I also have one for pet messes. I really don't want to mix the two. I just don't like that. So personally, I have two. So I have a really good one that's really good for like pet messes, and then this is just like everyday cleanup.
I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. I wanna kiss you before the sun goes down. It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you move.
Now we have to wait and see how all this dries. I'm wondering if those water spots were because of the pool and it was salt water. So I didn't clean all of it. I mean, I cleaned sections, but like I didn't do the whole front here. If it dries with the water spots, I'll have to, but I really don't see that being a problem. I'm gonna drag these out here in the wind because they'll dry faster, but if these look a lot better, then once they're dry, I'm gonna go ahead and spray them to protect them. I forgot how easy this machine is to use. Like, I have so many different cleaning products. I always grab different things, but I was really happy with the way that worked. The other one I have, I love, but it's for like cleaning up my pet messes, and I really don't want to mix it with like cleaning fabric chairs, if you guys know what I mean. So I like that I have two, but this works really well. Like I said, it looks messy there, but I don't think I'm gonna have to clean it if it dries well. Like I said, I think I'm gonna drag all this stuff out here into the breeze, but I'm gonna head back to the other areas and put the second coats on those so those can get dry and we can move them in. But this one's gonna definitely take a little bit longer since I had to wash it first.
I'm falling, and when you're moving, I can hear my calling. There's no one else here that I see but you. It's what you're doing that's making me feel like I'm falling. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in love. Yeah, I'm falling in
And now I can see all the gunk that was underneath the furniture. It's much worse in person, I'll tell you that. But at least Chase can blow it. I need to do that more often. And then I've got those out in the sun, so they should dry a lot faster now.
Wanna take a trip to the wild side. Wanna learn how to be brave, take what's mine. Wanna learn about what's on the inside. 'Cause I feel like we're running out of time. Yeah, I'm made to be go.
Holy moly, it is getting hot. I just pulled up my hair. It's so hot. So all I did was spray all four of those chairs, the two in the front, the two in the side, and these are pretty much dry now. So I'm gonna wait just another minute to make sure. I didn't think this would come up because it was grease. It's okay, we're just gonna act like it's not there. But at least I know the water spot's cleaned up, so it probably has something to do with like the salt water of the pool. But this is a water shield, so I think that's gonna help. If not, now I know I can just come up here, shampoo it, and that didn't take long at all. So learned a lot today, but I am gonna spray it with this. The other thing I'm thinking now is here in our master, I have those really, really, really light chairs. And since I'm already sweaty and since I already overbought in the product, I'm wondering, we still have it dark in here. still haven't made my bed. That's very, very rare, but it does happen. I think I'm gonna have Chase carry these out because they are super white and I know they're gonna be hard to keep clean. So I'll probably, I mean, we're in it at this point. I'll probably have him take those out so I can get those sprayed as well. And then we passed here in my dining room. I'm pretty sure we sprayed these at, I was gonna say we sprayed them at the last house, but we didn't because I didn't have them at the last house. We worked on something one house ago. I don't know, gosh, I was thinking it was these, so eventually I'm gonna have to, I probably need to spray these. I don't think it's gonna happen today. Because I wanna get everything else done. I wanna get the white chairs. I cannot remember. If you guys saw me spray these, tell me. I'll check my comments. I know I sprayed something at the last house and I know it was on wheels like this because they kept blowing away from me. But I'm pretty sure I didn't have these at the past house. What chairs did I have there? So these may have to be sprayed too. One thing I did want to update you guys on was this art. I know the other day we were like trying it a lot of different places. I tried it everywhere. I even had Chase bring it in here because I thought I'd like it because it ties in the colors, but I think it's just too busy. But sometimes I have to buy stuff just to know and then I can return it. And girl math, I feel like I'm getting us an extra $100 because I'm taking it back. So I feel like I've made us money. I know that's girl math. It doesn't make sense, but it is. But yeah, we'll take that back and get $100. But at least I know I tried. So when I see it there later, it's like, I love it. It just doesn't work in my home. So the good thing about this can, it did both of my front porch chairs with 2 coats. And then I got 1 coat done on this. And I even flipped the cushions and did the other side. And I have enough to get through 1 more. So once this dries, I'm going to do a 2nd coat. So this stuff lasted a long time, especially if you have like outdoor pillows, maybe even a rug or something. I mean, always buy an extra and you can return it. But if you don't have a ton of furniture outside, it's definitely going to cover all of it if you do thin layers. Okay, here's your clip to everybody that's like, do you ever pull up your hair? I do. I'll clip it up occasionally. I'll put it in a ponytail. It's only when I get really hot and I'm like cleaning or working. But typically, even in the summer, I'm cold. Like our house is cold, restaurants are cold, shopping centers, everything's cold in Oklahoma. Like when you're outside, it's hot. But the only time I'm outside is if I'm like cleaning or swimming or just like walking from my car to somewhere. But when I'm actually working and getting hot outside, I do pull my hair up. Take you up there because it's looking so much better out here. But yesterday I didn't film it, but we dyed our pond back. It was looking really brown, so that looks good. I put the 2nd coat on these chairs. I didn't show it because you guys have seen me spraying chairs this whole video. So I'm letting those dry out and then we'll put them back inside. Over there are the living room ones. They're probably about ready. I just don't want to move them too soon. So I'm going to let them dry just extra, just to be careful because we have nothing else going on. But in here, this whole area got cleaned up. I didn't really film it because it's not a cleaning video, but like I swept all this out, got it clean. Obviously I shampooed the cushions. If these were going inside, I wouldn't have put it back yet, but since they're outside and they have a breeze, plus I kind of wanted to get them out of the bright light. It's like okay for drying, but I also like don't want them to fade too much, which is what the spray's for. But since we're not like sitting on them and they're not going inside, I went ahead and put those back. The front porch ones are back. So we've got a lot of furniture taken care of today. I really just want to jump in that pool right now. I'm like so hot and sweaty, but I want to make sure we get everything done that we need to. Sometimes it's just nice to push through. Like everything's happening today except like when you're seeing the clips of like the wall art, that was another day. But sometimes it can only get done. Oh, there's a hummingbird. Did you see him? We have 3. They're so sweet. Sorry, I scared you off. Sometimes you can only get it done, you know, through little spurts, like one project at a time. It may take several days, but it's nice if you have a day off or something like that, or a Saturday or Sunday, just to like power through and knock out as much as the list as you can. Oh, I sprayed this chair as well. It's not really out in the sun, it really doesn't get wet, but girls sit in it wet, and I thought maybe with the snow, so I did spray that one, but I didn't show it either. There's a lot going on camera and off camera today. Now we've moved on into the movie room. So when we were working on this space, I have a whole video listed if you missed it. When we were hanging these, we kind of like scuffed the ceiling. Can you see that white spot? So it's easy touch-ups in here. I'm so used to white walls. Like if you bump into it and you scuff it, you don't see it. In here we have to be careful. So we just have some spaces where there's like paint mess ups from like moving the furniture around. There's one over here that we like bumped the wall. So dark paint is a little bit more high maintenance, and I'll say it, personally to me it shows a little more dirt. Like if you rub against it, I feel like I have to clean it off the wall, which white is just so white and it's easier to clean. Now I love the vibe in here, but we are just gonna go around and just do some touch-ups in this space. So I spent that whole time spraying those chairs, but when I took them out, it seemed so much bigger in here. And then I made the bed and it was so much easier because those chairs I couldn't really move just to make the bed. Like they're really hard to pick up. Clearly, if you saw the scene of me trying to bring them inside, I went ahead and threw them in here and I'm like, yeah, it's just too much now. So I brought this bench back in here. I love the chairs and how it looked, and we even loved using them. But the bench still works and I feel like it's just so much easier to maintain. Like this space does feel bigger now that I like pulled the chairs out. And it's just easier to make the bed, which is something we do every single day. So I think this is gonna be a lot better. And whoever gets my chairs, they're gonna be nice and sprayed and protected for them. Okay, so we have another day here. I ended up getting new lamps, so I went ahead and threw it into this video. I've been looking for oversized lamps forever and they were so expensive. I had found these a while back and they felt expensive originally. They still are. They're a splurge for me. I can link them for you. They're from like Magnolia Market, but I love them, but they are huge. Like we have dressers as nightstands because this room's so big, so I needed a big lamp to fill the space. But if you have a normal nightstand, I would definitely measure before you order these. But basically I got these lamps and then I was like, you know what, Chase, I think the like artwork we were about to return would maybe look good in here now. And so he held it up and it was perfect. It's like between the lamps and the artwork. I took out the chairs, I even took out the bench. I think you'll see in one of these are all out of photo. Everything just came together. Like this room is perfection now for me. Like everything is perfect. I just walk in there now and I'm like, oh, I love the way it makes me feel. Okay, I seriously thought I was done filming this video, but it's a few days later. I had not edited it yet, and I decided to hang that artwork in our bedroom. I'm sure I've already done voiceovers on it. So now this one can go in here, and I don't think I filmed this space, but I've already rearranged. The angle was just throwing me. Like it worked, as in like function-wise, it was nice, but it just throws my eyes off. So I put it back how it was. We're waiting still for the chandelier to come in, so that'll get finished. Probably not in this video because I need to start editing this soon. But I can at least get the picture hung. and I'll show you how this space is ending up for now. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I just always appreciate you choosing to click on my video and share a moment of your day with me. It truly means so much to me. So thank you so much. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.